You're getting on the live right now?
I'm on.
Oh.
All right, peace, y'all. Let's dive into this topic. In fact, I'll give it about a minute. Let a few more people jump on the live, and then we'll dive right into it. All right. I like to just hit it and go. So we're going to talk about today, how do we sell land without a realtor? For those that may not know, we are the Acre Boys. We are active land investors. What does that mean when I say active? Active meaning that we are in the field alongside with you, land investing. Active means that we're not teaching or preaching from theory. We're not Googling up a bunch of stuff. We're not using AI or going to chat GBT and just finding things that I can come and spew online to grab attention and things like that. What we speak about is things that we are currently using or have used, things that have worked for us or things that's working, ing, for us. These are the same things that we give you, whether that's a certain place, whether that's the paperwork, whether that's the verbiage that we're using. These are all the things that we're using or have used that have worked for us. Today, let's keep it simple, whether we're buying tax bought property or whether we're buying property from an owner. I think I'll focus on tax bought property because typically when we're buying from owners, typically we're going to be paying over a certain denomination. Most of the times it's over $10,000. Anytime we deal with deals that's over $10,000, we are dealing with title companies and or attorneys. What does that mean? There's usually a realtor that's involved in those deals. So I want to focus on tax bought properties because typically when we're dealing with tax bought properties, there's no realtors that's involved. So what does that look like? Let me just see if I can see my comments here first of all. All right. What does that look like? And if you got questions or comments about anything that you hear on this live, drop them below. I'll spend some time after here and try to answer any of your questions or thoughts or concerns. What does that look like buying a piece of land? Inexpensive piece of land, right? So you have to know which auction to play at first and foremost. There's a lot of auctions. I know, like, and I'm addressing somebody that's brand new to the space. Where would you start at? That's a great question. I would always say I would start with someone that can lead me in the right direction because in coming into this space, if you haven't really dealt with how these auctions play, it might be a little overwhelming. You might be a little hesitant to proceed, and you definitely won't proceed as fast as somebody else that has the experience. I know it because when you're beginning, you're green, and some auctions they don't really spell it out the best way as far as the instructions on how to participate. Either you know or you don't know. Certain auctions they do spell it out. They spell it out really well on what to do. That's why I said it just depends on what auction you're starting with. Let's give some places you can go and practice at, right? For free. If you're interested in doing tax deed investing and buying inexpensive land. Probably a site that you heard of, or a rather more popular site, would be something like Bid for Assets. They sell land or they auction, not sell, they auction land on Bid for Assets. Bid for Assets is what we call an auction house. What's an auction house, Ray? You have two styles of or two places that offer you auctions. You have what they call county auctions and you have what they call auction houses. I want to be thorough in breaking this down. So as I'm breaking this down, before social media existed, remember, this is not a new practice. This is not something new that we're speaking about. Tax deed investing or tax sale investing, this is old. This has been going on for a long time, years and years, way before the Acre Boys was involved. This has been going on. Every county does something, some form of tax sale auction. They have something. Every county has something. You just need to know what they have and what they offer, right? So we identified that each county is looking to get tax forfeited properties off of their books, right? They need to, because taxpaying dollars is what keeps counties going. So they want to get them off of the books, right? How do you participate? First, identify what your state is. Is your state a tax lien state or tax deed state? You can participate in either, but there are two separate things. A tax lien auction yields a different result from a tax deed auction. It's a whole different result. So I suggest for new people that's looking to make money, I'm assuming that you're looking to make money as fast as possible. That's why we focus on tax deeds, right? So you got a tax deed state. Back before there was online, back before there was social media, each county was responsible for holding their own auction of some sort, some form, right? Some of them did in-person auctions once a year or twice a year. Some of them did them at the county steps. Some of them used to have them like in auditoriums of schools and gymnasiums. It was a whole bunch of stuff. Some of them used to just advertise them in the local newspapers and things like that. Now, that's a county auction. That's a county auction style. Those are the ones that I like, by the way, because when we're dealing with county auctions, they typically give a price that they're looking to receive. You pay that price, you win the bid, you get the deed. Fast forward, we're in the days of social media. Really, this started to really become more prevalent when COVID hit, that these counties, they then shifted the way that they done business, and they shifted it to online, and they started having a lot of online auctions because clearly we couldn't meet in person. It was already happening beforehand, but it really, they stepped on the gas with it at that point. And they hired what we call auction houses. What's an auction house? Bid for assets, govease.com. There's a bunch of auction houses, but those are probably at the front of the two most popular ones that you may or may not have heard of. So now they'll go to an auction house in, let's just say, Jones County, and Jones County will say, hey, bid for assets. One sec. I'll call you back. I'm on a live. All right. So Jones County will go bid for assets. Here's all the properties that we have to auction off. You'll host the auction for us. And why does bid for assets do that? Because they charge them a percentage of everything that gets sold. So those are the two distinctive qualities of both. You have auction houses, then you have county auctions. I prefer county auctions. An easy one for you to practice on is, and I'll drop it in the comment, is for those that don't know, you can go over to bid the number 4 and just comb through it. Bid4assets.com and comb through everything that they have. And you'll see that this one right here, for anybody that's new, it may be overwhelming to you of how they play the game if you're brand new, because it's an eBay style auction. What's the eBay style auction? Just like eBay, they put a property up, there's a timer on it, and you have a chance to bid up, and the highest bidder will win once the time expires. That's the eBay style auction. Those are the ones that I don't like. I don't like eBay style auctions. Why don't you like eBay style auctions, Ray? Y'all see how I be talking to myself. Why don't you like? Because these are the questions that I'm assuming that you're asking. I don't like eBay style auctions because I don't have time to sit there and watch a timer. That's why I don't like eBay style auctions. I don't want to watch. I don't want to sit there and watch it. I like county auctions that says, give me this price, a set price, and it's yours. Now all I have to do is just do my research on the property. If I like, I go and get my bank check and I send it in. Fast as in, the property becomes yours. That makes sense? So go to bid for assets, look up under land. You'll see that they have prices ranging from starting bid from $1 on up. Just depends on which county they have at the current time that they're auctioning off. So let's fast forward. You figured out where you want to play at. You figured out how to play, right? How to participate, how to win. You want an auction. You are now responsible. You will get, as the winner of a tax deed auction, you will get what they call a quit claim deed. There's no other deed that will come. I don't care what they label it as, warranty deed, limited warranty deed, special warranty deed, whatever they name it as. It will be a quit claim deed. All auctions give only quit claim deeds. Do they clear title on these auctioned off properties? It depends. It depends on the auction. Some counties do, some counties don't. You have to know what county you're playing in. These are key things. These are vital things. You need to know the rules of engagement. There's 3,200 counties. They all don't abide by the same rules. They set their own rules for their own auction. So you need to know the rules of that particular auction. Only thing that will be set is that if you win, you will receive a quit claim deed. QUIT. What's a quit claim deed, right? A quit claim deed is simply a deed that transfers over ownership. That is it. That is it in a nutshell. It transfers over ownership from one party to another party. That is what you'll receive. Now, here's where you need to know some things. Now you got your deed. How do you sell your property at this point? I suggest that you don't attempt to sell it until you have deed in hand. I'm on social media. I won't tell you some things that we have done in the past. We have sold things before we had them, but that's not the proper thing to teach. The proper thing to teach is to say, once you have deed in hand, then you can list your property on the market. What's on the market? First, you always want to exhaust all of the free resources. What's a free resource that we have done extremely well in? You've heard of it, Facebook Marketplace. That's a free resource that we sell land on Facebook Marketplace. Now, there's a strategy to Facebook Marketplace. What's the strategy to Facebook Marketplace? Streamline your business. Keep it extremely clean. What's that mean, Ray? That means that us as land investors on Facebook Marketplace, only thing that you see on my Facebook Marketplace profile, even on my profile page, and I suggest that you get a regular person page and not a business page. So on that regular person page that we sell land from off that page, guess what the number one thing is on that page? Guess what the only thing that's on that page is? It's just content about land. It's just things for sale or things that we sold, things that revolves around that industry. That's it. So when people come to our page, there's no confusion. You won't second guess what we do. They're definitely into real estate. They definitely sell land, because if you comb all the way down, it'll be land and more land and more land. Now, these days, is years worth of land material that's on the page. What does that do for a buyer? Well, they typically will move a lot faster and take you a lot more seriously than a person that has a piece of land for sale. Then the next post, they have pictures of the food that they ate the night before. Confused buyers don't buy, right? So streamline your business. Second thing about Facebook Marketplace is we tell everybody coming into the space. First thing and the best thing you could do for yourself is become credible. What does it mean by become credible? You have to realize Facebook Marketplace, they have dates on the time that you open these pages up. It's just like when you go to Amazon and you reviewing a property, you go and review the ratings and what people has to say about it, right? Same thing, Facebook Marketplace. If you open up your page today, it'll say such and such opened up their page on such and such date, November 1st, 2026. So if you just open up the page today and you posted a property for sale November 1st, 2026, and you just opened up that page, what does that look like on the marketplace? It may look a little scammy. It doesn't look like you have a whole lot of experience or time underneath your belt. You may not be scamming, but I'm just telling you what it looks like, right? As opposed if you came to my page and you'll see that the page was opened up in 2016 or 2017, it says that we got a lot of time on the clock. The other thing with Facebook Marketplace is they'll allow you to get ratings. What's ratings? Anytime somebody interacts with your page or a transaction is completed on your page, you can ask them for a rating. You can ask them to drop comments on how the interaction was with you as the seller. A 5-star rating is the highest rating that you can get. You need at least 5 people to rate you in order for Facebook to post whatever your rating is. All right. One cheat code around that, if you were serious about this, is just go to 5 family members. And, don't have them saying, hey, this is cousin Joyce, or this is uncles. No, you want them to come off as a regular buyer and just give a rating on the interaction that they had with you so you can get a rating now. So now as a new buyer is coming to your page, they're seeing that you have some time underneath the clock and they're seeing that you have a great rating. We have a 4.5-star rating out of 5. I wanted a 5, but I can't stop people from saying they didn't say anything bad. It's just that they didn't feel it was a 5. But 4.5 is not bad. Plus, with the time that we have on the clock, plus they can leave feedback and say, if you go to my page, you'll see things that says like, great transaction, I received my deed. They were prompt in their responses, or whatever the reviews is. And people go and they read these things. Now, who do you feel more comfortable with buying from? Someone that has good feedback and good reviews and a nice rating on their star system, or somebody that's brand new and has none of that stuff? And this is how you position yourself to move a lot faster. This is how you position yourself to sell it a lot faster, because as you interact with sellers, you ask questions. What are you looking for? What areas are you looking for? Are you on the market for multiple properties? Are you looking? I may have something in this area. And you start to curate your own buyers list. And you start to see what areas people are looking for. And those are the areas that you start to target, because you now know I have my own personal buyers market. All right. So those are some of the things you can do. Once you have your deed, and let's say someone is interested in buying, how do you sell it to them? How do you collect payments? Right? There's no realtor right now. You can hire a realtor to do all of this for you. You can hire a title company to do it, but both will charge you a fee. Realtor's going to charge you a fee. And word of advice is not all realtors and not all real estate offices deal with quick claim deeds. I found some that do, most don't. They only deal with warranty deeds. So if you can identify and want to deal with a realtor, I prefer not to deal with a realtor when I'm selling tax deed properties, because I can sell them on my own and I won't be charged a fee. I don't go through title companies when I sell my my quick claim deeds or my tax bought properties, because I don't want them charging me a fee. We want to make max profit on our deals, especially if I know how to do the same exact thing. So here's a buyer. Buyer wants to buy. Say, let's just throw a number out. You're selling it for $2,000. You bought it for $600. You're selling it for $2,000. A real simple deal, right? How are you collecting the money? You need to have a website. You need to open up a website that will allow you to collect payments. We use GoDaddy. That may be an old system. We've just been using it because it works for us. So we have a GoDaddy page where we sell land from. In fact, I'll drop my land page if anybody wants to check it out. You can duplicate anything from here. I don't care. You can see some of the land deals that we have done through the years here. That's our land page right there. You can click onto it. You can go and check it out. You'll need a page that you're selling your land from. And it's our page is same thing as our Facebook page. It's just land. That's it. And more land and more deals. Keep in mind, the reason why I say just keep it land is because, and this is a real thing. This is a real story. We sold a lot of land in the South, like Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi. We sold a lot in those areas, right? I don't even need people knowing what I look like. We don't post pictures. I don't do any of that. They don't know, they just know the name of my company and the land that they're interested in. I don't post pictures. I don't do any of that. We want to streamline this and keep it concentrated on the asset that's at hand, the deal that's at hand. Never mind what I look like. So I don't even post any pictures or anything like that. If you go to the site, you won't see not a single picture of us. You'll see just land and more land. That's it. So now you're selling your land. They paid from your site, put their credit card in, never accept PayPal. Don't accept PayPal. That's the one thing that you don't want to accept. Why you don't accept PayPal? Because PayPal, they can say that they never received the deed and PayPal will automatically give them the money back. All right. So don't accept PayPal. Accept credit cards. Credit cards only. It's 2026. Everybody probably has one. Or go get one. Go get a debit card or some type of gift card, whatever they have to do. But don't accept PayPal. So now they paid you. Now you have to transfer over the deed. How do you transfer over the deed? Most people get overwhelmed with this process. Transferring over deeds is not that hard. You just need to know what a deed looks like and the information that goes into the deed. The fastest thing that you can do is duplicate the deed that you receive from the county and change out the information with the new buyer's information. So let's walk through that. So you received the deed and your name was John Smith. And let's say Jones County sent John Smith a deed. What will be in that deed? I can guarantee you it will have the legal description of the property. It will have the parcel number of the property. Sometimes it'll have the amount that's paid. Most of the times it will. Sometimes it don't, right? So all the pertinent things will be in there. Grantor name will be in there. Grantee name will be in there. Legal description will be in there. And all of those things. And you typically will have a mobile notary stamp on the deed. Now, how do you get it out the door? The same exact way that it came. Don't get a brain on this. We knew that if it came from that county and that was legal coming from them, all you do is duplicate the information. Take the same language that it came on that paperwork, duplicate it over to a brand new page that you created, and just change out the pertinent information. Change out the grantor's name. Who is the grantor? The grantor is the person that is selling the property. So that will be you. All right. So you'll change out from the county's name to John Smith, to your personal name, whatever your company is, because you're selling it. You are the grantor. Who is the grantee? That'll be the person that you're selling it to. So once you sell it, your language to that person that you're selling it to would say, thanks for purchasing my property. Allow me 30 to 60 days to prepare your deed. In order to prepare your deed, I would need your name or names and address, full address of whom I'm sending the deed to. And that could be a business company or a business name, or that could be a personal name or personal names with an S, right? They'll send you back, they'll email you back the name that they want the deeds in, and that's going to be the grantee. Then you would need to take the same legal description from the deed that came from the county, and you would add that legal description on the new deed. Once you're copying your legal description, if they use all caps with their letters, you use all caps. If they use all caps, then a lowercase letter, then a special character, you do the same exact thing. Don't change nothing. Keep it the same exact way. Why? Because if it came from the county that way, and if you send it back that way, we know that they'll accept it. Make sense? Now, certain counties, I know I may be saying not a lot. This is why we recommend that you just go ahead and get the education to where this is broken down to you step by step. All right. But for me, it makes perfect sense because we've done a lot of them and we do a lot of them. But on a live, some may be following this, and some you may get lost in translations with everything that I'm saying. But this is the correct way. I'm telling you step by step on how to do it. I can't change the steps. Like, this is the way it's done. So once the deed is prepared, you would then have to mail it out, right? Along with whatever the fees is. How do I know what the fees is that goes with the deed, Ray? You call the county that you're working with or that it's going to, and you'll have to ask, how much is the fees to record a new deed? And they'll tell you. They'll probably say something like, for one sheet, it'll be $20. For two sheets, it'll be $25. For three sheets, or whatever they'll say, $5 for each edition. They'll give you the instructions. More than likely, you won't have more than two sheets. You shouldn't have more than two sheets. Max 3. But more often, you'll have two sheets. Typical fees, $20, $25, things like that. So if you go through a title company, typical fees could range on the lowest end from from $300 to $400 for a simple quick claim deed, to all the way up to $900. That's why we want to avoid title companies, and we do them ourselves so we can keep all of this money, because these aren't big deals as is. So if you was only making $1,500, $1,600 on the deal, and they're charging you $600, $700, that's eating into your profit. So knowing how to do this and knowing how to prepare deeds is vital. This is a part of becoming a good land investor. Some people take it a step further and they charge their buyers, they charge them a fee for preparing these deeds. And that's fine. It's your business. Do whatever you like to do. There should be, they call those deed preparation fees. It should be a fee because it costs. You have to pay the fees to mail it into the county. You have to have a letter. You have to have a stamp. You would have to run to the bank, get a money order. It costs time, energy, effort, and finances to do them. We don't charge per se for them. I charge in the price that I'm charging in the listing. It's already in there because I know that these things have to be done. So in a nutshell, this is how we prepare deeds. In a nutshell, this is how we sell properties without using a realtor. If Facebook Marketplace, if it wasn't selling on Facebook Marketplace, the next place that I would go to, matter of fact, not even the next place, because I do them all at the same time. I post the Facebook Marketplace, then I go straight to Zillow. Zillow these days is not the easiest to deal with, right? Because there was fraud on Zillow. What kind of fraud was on Zillow, Ray? People were saying they were the owners of properties and they were selling things that wasn't theirs. That is the danger of dealing with quick claim deeds when you're buying a quick claim deed. How do you identify who's the owner of the property? So once again, knowing what you're doing will serve you well. Only buy from an auction. Only buy from a county auction or a credible auction house. When you're buying quick claim deeds from people, you have to know what you're doing. You have to be able to identify if they are the legal owner, because they can sell you a piece of paper and they may not own it. You send over the cash and they're gone once they have the cash. We've seen it happen. That is why Zillow stopped allowing just anybody to post to their site and claim that they're the owner. The process of posting to Zillow these days is you have to send a photocopy of your ID. You have to send a photocopy of the deed that's in hand or the deed that's in question. That photo ID must match the name that's on that deed. All right. Even if you're dealing with a realtor, they're going to ask for proof of you being the legal owner. So those are the steps. Can we help? Absolutely, I can help. I just gave you the game on the live. So you just need to know where to find them at. Then you'll sell them and rinse and repeat. Buy one. We always say once you get one or two under your belt, things start to move a lot faster because that means you went through the whole process. You feel a lot more confident. You feel a lot more comfortable, and you start to move a lot more faster. Clearly, can I be exact about every county? No, because every county, some have different steps that go along with the process. Like if you take Arkansas, you have to get a sheet concerning taxes come along with that. Pennsylvania, the same thing. You have to call in and ask them what's the taxes that they're charging on top of it. So each one is different, is what I'm saying. But the premise or the main things never change. Grantee, grantor, legal description. I've never seen a deed that didn't have those things inside of it. All right. So I hope that helps. Yesterday, we went on a rant about some things about why most people won't get involved. Today, I wanted to do some teaching about something, and that was the topic that I chose to. And there you have it. So I would go to bid for assets if you're brand new and just comb through it. Don't let it be overwhelming to you. I don't like bid for assets, me personally, but some people love it. All right. Some people love bid for assets. The reason I don't like it is because I like to participate in places that are not that popular. I like to identify and smoke out areas that I know everyone don't know about. I know bid for assets is highly popular. What does that mean? That means there's a lot of competition. It's an eBay style auction. That means there's a lot of people bidding. And I don't have time to watch a clock. Word of advice, if you're ever dealing with an eBay style auction, when should you bid, people? Drop it in the comments. When is the best time to bid if you're working an eBay style auction? Drop it in the comments. Let me see what your thoughts is about that. If we're dealing with an eBay style auction and the time is coming down and the auction is highest bidder wins, when is the best time to bid? Nobody has any thoughts about that? Well, I'm not going to tell you then. If I don't get nobody to answer, then I'm not going to say. I see you, Lex. She said 2 minutes before ending. Good strategy. But this is why I don't like eBay style auctions is you want to wait seconds if possible. Because that's the game. For those that know the game, they'll wait to the last very 30 seconds, 10 seconds if possible, so they can see what the hires. Everybody's playing the game. They want to see what it jumps up to, and then they'll just click the button and outbid you at the last minute. So that's why I don't like eBay style auctions, because I just don't have time to sit there and watch the clock like that. But if you decide to play in an eBay style auction and it's a popular one or a hot piece of property, you want to wait 2 seconds, if possible, if you have that type of time on your hand. All right, that's my time today. I'm gonna get on with my day. Anybody, any questions about anything? Anybody that's ready to begin land investing, text 313-930-8483. Let's drop it in the chat. 313-930-8483. 83, only if you're ready to get started. If you have general questions, that is not the number to text for general questions. But if you are ready to get started, what get started means is join our land flipping program to where we dive in extensively with things that we spoke about today. That is the place to text at that point. And I just dropped it in the comments. All right, y'all. That's it for this day. Enjoy your weekends, whatever you're doing. Be blessed, be safe, and we'll tap back in. Not tomorrow, maybe Monday. All right, peace, love.